as far as believing in ideas, I think this is actually a good topic for me because I have a lot of ideas. I have a lot of ideas. And it's not that I don't believe in my ideas. Okay, maybe let me backtrack, because as I think about it, it's probably me not believing in my ideas. But I think it's like that doubt, right? There's a lot of things that come into play because my brain, the way my brain works is like it fires off all these things in my head like a million miles a minute. And I'll like look at something like, oh, that's a really good idea. Oh, that's a really good idea. And then I'll jot things down and I have a million different things of all these things that I want to do. And I think the biggest problem with that is they come so quickly, but I'm really bad at the execution. And then when I have the really solid, like good ideas where I'm like, oh, this can be a series and I think this can be big, then that doubt starts to set in.
Before I even start it.
And then I get like nervous, or I start to question like, oh, what are people going to think? Is it a good idea? And it's so interesting because I can't really say that it's not me when I think of these ideas, because obviously it's me who's thinking of them. But there is a part of me, because sometimes the ideas are a little bit
random.
I wouldn't say just random, but they could be very controversial. Like to a point where it's definitely going to create some type of divide and then a perspective change, because it's going to be like, oh, well, that's what she thinks, or that's how she sees the world. But at the end of the day, it's like, I feel like they're in there, they're coming into my head for a purpose. And it's not that it's anything extremely offensive, but I think I just need to have a little bit more faith in when I get these ideas. And instead of worrying about the audience, just worry about my level of execution or my purpose with this idea.
Yeah, because I think as artists, Rick Rubin said this too. Do you know Rick Rubin? Mm-hmm. So he said that you shouldn't think about the audience when it comes to creating art. Just don't even, because you never know.
Right.
And even if you do, it's like, I still want to make this thing,
right?
Or I still want to create whatever. And you can't really, you don't know what's going to hit for people. Mm-hmm. And then you obviously don't know what's going to trigger a lot of people.
Yeah.
But then who gives a fuck? Everything triggers people.
I know.
Like
everything's a trigger.
Yeah. So I think when it comes to just making your own art, you should just do it for you.
Right.
And then the right audience will find it. And the rest will just kind of, even if it's like one of those, you said, controversial, even if it's a divide, like, you don't want an audience that like are hating on your art anyway.
Right.
So, like, why do you care? You know what I mean? So I think just make it and we'll see what happens. I mean,
I know. They're all in my head. They're all written down. And some of them I've actually even shot already.
Yeah.
But they just kind of sit there, and that's...
Oh, you haven't posted it?
That's my MO. Yeah, I haven't either posted it or I haven't executed it. And like, even now as I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh, this is a really good idea. But I think what it is too is because I'm still kind of new in this journey of this type of art, and it also like impacts my business, or like I'm trying to like merge the worlds. Is sometimes what takes place is instead of me executing my ideas, I execute others, right? Because I'm trying to build that clientele, or you know what I mean? Like there's a financial component to it.
Yeah.
But I understand now that that's not what truly makes me happy. Like what I feel makes me really happy is doing the things that come into my head.
Yeah, and I think having a client is different than making your own art. Mm-hmm. because, I think having a client, you're obviously catering to what they want and what they need.
Right.
And you're just doing your job, that's fine.
Yeah.
But when it comes to your ideas, I think you should just execute. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how else to say that.
No, I mean, it makes sense. But I think just where I am in life, because I still have my 9 to 5.
Yeah.
That, like, having my 9 to 5 and then having the clientele portion and then wanting to do my own ideas, it's too much. So I think actually that probably is what sparked the idea that I was going to take a break from getting a lot of, additional clients unless I truly wanted to execute the vision or at least make the connection. So a lot of the recent bookings I've had was me, we met, we had a conversation, we like the chemistry, like we're vibing with each other, and I like the idea, they like the ideas I'm pitching, and then it's like, okay, we can move forward.
Yeah.
So it's really kind of turned into this like very intentional piece when it comes to booking clients, but I really am excited, and I have this whole plan for it to really start moving along after my birthday. Is all of these ideas that are in my head, I just need to get it out there.